Good morning, students. In the previous lecture, we discussed about Lorentz force and also we discussed about magnetic force on a current carrying conductor. Today, we are going to discuss about magnetic force characteristics and electric force characteristics, and also we are going to discuss about motion in a magnetic field. Let us start with magnetic force characteristics. So I'm going to start with characteristics of magnetic force. So characteristics of a magnetic force. So now let us consider the magnetic field. So we know that this is the magnetic field. That is, the magnetic field is into the plane of the paper, and this magnetic force will be applied on a moving charge. So the moving charge which will experience this magnetic force. Now let us assume this is the direction of the moving charge. That is, a conductor is placed here, okay, and the current is moving along this direction. So we can mark this is the direction of the current, and we can also write this is the direction of the moving charge or velocity. And what will be the direction of the force? The direction of the force will be always perpendicular to this velocity. So this is the direction of force. Okay. Now let's see what happens because of this force. Okay, what happens because of this magnetic force? Actually, this magnetic force either increase or decrease the velocity, or it can also change the direction. Okay, so now if this magnetic force, if it is going to increase or decrease the velocity, actually this magnetic force, the direction of the magnetic force, it should be along the direction of this velocity, or else its component should be along this direction of the velocity. But what happens here? See, actually in order to increase or decrease the velocity, either this force should act along this direction, or its component should act along this direction. Okay, so now let us see what is the angle between this force and velocity. Angle between this force and velocity is 90 degree. Okay, so what is Fe cos 90? Cos 90 is 0. So we can say that this magnetic force which cannot change the magnitude of velocity. So our first point is this magnetic force, this magnetic force cannot cannot change the magnitude of velocity, because its component with velocity is 0. So this is the first point. Okay, then what is the role of this magnetic force? Actually, this magnetic force which may change the direction. Okay, so it will change the direction. Because of this force, the velocity of the charge, that is the direction, will change. The direction alone is changing here. So the direction is changing. So now this is the direction of the charged particle and this is the direction of the force. And again, because of this force, again the velocity is changing like this. And again, what happens? Here the direction is changing. That is the force is changing. And again, this changes the velocity and again the force. And again, which changes the direction of velocity and again this is the direction of force. So and again this is the direction of velocity and this is the direction of the force. So likewise again this is the direction of velocity and this is the direction of the force. Again this is the direction of velocity and this is the direction of the force. And one more thing we have to remember here children, that direction of the force and the direction of this velocity, they are always right angles to each other. So this magnetic force which cannot change the magnitude of velocity but it can change the direction continuously. Okay, so the direction is keeps on changing here. Okay, so we can say that this magnetic force can change the direction of the moving charge, can change the direction of the charged particle, can change the direction. Actually this magnetic force needs moving charge. Okay, so this magnetic force, what is the formula to calculate the magnetic force? Magnetic force formula is F is equal to QBB. Already we discussed this. And it needs charge to move, needs charge to move. So this is again very important. So first we assume that magnetic field and we place the current carrying rod, or we can also say that moving charge is placed here and this is the direction of velocity and this is the direction of the magnetic force. Actually the direction of the magnetic force can be find with the help of the um, left hand rule. That is, if you assume this is the direction of the magnetic field and this is the direction of the current and how the direction of the force will be along this direction. Okay, that is, this force will be perpendicular to both velocity as well as the magnetic field. Okay, so and this magnetic force which cannot change the magnitude of velocity but it can change the direction. And this magnetic force which needs charge to move, that is only the moving charge. Okay, and now let us see what are the characteristics of electric force. Actually the characteristics of electric force, that is the characteristics of electric force. Actually both stationary charge as well as the moving charge which will create the electric field. Okay, and we know the formula that electric force is equal to Q into E. Now let us assume this is the direction of the electric field and we are going to assume the charge is placed here and this charge which will experiences the force along the direction of the electric field, and because of this electric force the charge will be accelerated and accelerated charge which will increase increase or decrease the velocity. Okay, so if we place the charged particle here, the charged particle will be accelerated because of this force and its velocity will change. So the electric force, under the characteristics of electric force, we can say that its velocity, that is the magnitude of velocity, changes. Okay, magnitude of velocity change. But what happens to the direction? This electric force which will not change the direction. Okay, electric force cannot change change the direction of the charged particle. Cannot change the direction of the charged particle. So these two are very, very important, children. So let me recall once again the magnetic force which cannot change the magnitude of velocity because the component of force um, with velocity is 0 and which can only change the direction of the moving charges. And it needs the charges to move. That is only the moving charges which will experience this magnetic force. Okay, and here electric force whenever the charges are placed in an electric field, its velocity changes. Okay, either the velocity will increase or decrease. Okay, but the magnitude of velocity changes, but it cannot change the direction. Now let us go to the very important topic, which is motion in a magnetic field. Okay, motion in a magnetic field. So we'll go to the topic motion in a magnetic field. So now once again we will assume this is the magnetic field which is perpendicular to the plane of the paper, and we are going to assume a charge which is placed in the direction perpendicular to the magnetic field. So this is the charge which is placed in the direction perpendicular to the magnetic field, and this is the direction of velocity, and we know that the force will be acting in the direction perpendicular to that of both V and it is perpendicular to that of both V and B. That is V be the magnetic field. Okay. So F is perpendicular to both V and B. And we know the formula that F is equal to QVB sin theta. And look at the direction of this force. Always this force will be in the direction towards the center. Okay. So which is towards the center, or else we can also say that F and V are always right angles to each other. Okay. So this is very important, children, here. So force is always here, the force is always towards the center. So can I write it as force is always towards the center. Force is always towards the center, and we can also say that this is radial force. Okay, radial force. But look at this here, children. This is the charge, right? So actually, the charge will always move in a straight line, right? But here, in the presence of magnetic field, actually the charge should move along this direction only. But because of the presence of this magnetic force, the direction of the charge will change continuously. Okay, so the charge whose direction will change like this. Okay, because of the existence of this magnetic force. So again this will be the direction of the moving charge. So this will be the direction of the force. Okay, so the direction of the moving charge will be changed continuously only because of this magnetic force, and this magnetic force which will make the charge to move in a circular path. The magnetic force which will make the charge to move in a circular path. Because here I have drawn that arrow mark, that is the wider one. If I narrow this one, actually in the presence of magnetic field, the charge particle will move in a circular path. So I can also write here at that is if I'll write here if a charge enter, if a charge enter a magnetic field, if a charge enter a magnetic field at right angle to it moves. It moves in a circular path. It moves in a circular path due to magnetic force, due to the magnetic force as a centripetal force. Hope you all of you remember this centripetal force, what you have learned in your 11th standard. So I told you that force is always towards the center and along the radius. So this force is also called as radial force, or because of this charge which enters the magnetic field at right angles to it, it moves along a circular path. This force is nothing but the centripetal force. Okay. So let me read out this diagram. If I narrow this arrow mark, I told you that. So this is the charge. You just assume this is the charge. Okay. And along the radius. And this is the direction of the linear velocity. And you can also draw the perpendicular line. That is, so again here, this is the charge. Okay. So if this is the velocity, then this will be the direction of the force. Okay, this is the direction of force. Similarly, you can draw everywhere. Okay, so if it is, this is the direction of velocity, then this will be the direction of the force, where this force will be always right angles to the velocity. Okay, now, and this V be the linear velocity. This V be the linear velocity. Okay, now this centripetal force is mechanically equal to, what is the formula for centripetal force? You have learnt in your 11th standard, F is equal to mv square by r. Here, this centripetal force is due to what? Magnetic force. That is magnetic Lorentz force. So we are going to write that magnetic Lorentz force, whose formula is, we know that QVB. So now we are going to equate this centripetal force as well as the magnetic Lorentz force here. So what is the mv square by r is equal to, so we can write it as QVB is equal to mv square by r. Okay. So can we write that what is that the QV is equal to mv by r, or we can also write that velocity V is equal to 2BR by M. So, and from this we can calculate what is R, that is the radius. Radius is equal to MV divided by QB. Okay. Radius is equal to MV divided by QB. Now let us assume if MV and Q are constant, then radius is inversely proportional to strength of the magnetic field. Or else we can also say like this. If M, Q and B are constant, M, Q and B are constant, that is, we are going to assume that mass of the charged particle and magnitude of the charge as well as the strength of the magnetic field are constant, then R, if M, Q, B are constant. Okay, then R is directly proportional to V. That is, radius and velocity are directly proportional. Okay. Now, since here the particles are moving in a circular path, right? Then what is the relation between the linear velocity and angular velocity? You have learned that again this also in your 11th standard, V is equal to R omega. So here we are going to substitute 2BR by M. This is our velocity formula. V is equal to R omega. Okay. So this R and R which will get cancelled. Now what is omega? Omega is equal to QB divided by m. So we can say that this angular velocity which depends on omega depends on omega depends on strength of the magnetic field B as well as Q by M. This Q by M is nothing but charge to mass ratio or specific charge. Charge to mass ratio or specific charge. Again, this is very important. Okay. So first we have got the expression for velocity and we got the expression for radius. Now this is for angular velocity and Q by M is the charge to mass ratio. Now we are going to calculate what is the time period formula, frequency also. So time period is equal to, already you know that, that is omega is equal to, I'll write here, omega is equal to 2 pi by T. Okay, so T is equal to 2 pi by omega is equal to 2 pi by T, 2 pi divided by, sorry, omega is equal to 2 pi by T. So I'll write here T is equal to 2 pi by omega. 2 pi divided by omega. Okay, so we got that omega is equal to QB by M here. So T is equal to, let me write 2 pi. What is this omega? M divided by 2T. Okay, so omega is equal to QB by M, or we can write that omega is equal to 2 pi by T. So from this also we can write that T is equal to 2 pi by omega. Okay, or T is equal to 2 pi M divided by QB. Okay, now and also we know that this is one formula. Omega is equal to, in order to calculate the frequency, omega is equal to 2 pi mu. So this is frequency. So frequency is equal to, so we are going to write that 2 pi mu is equal to, again, QB by M. Okay. Then what is frequency? Frequency is equal to QB divided by 2 pi M. Again, this is the very important formula. So time period formula we got, time period is 2 pi M divided by QB. Okay, so all these formulas we have learned now. Now let us calculate what is the kinetic energy formula also. So we know that kinetic energy is equal to half mv square. Kinetic energy is equal to half mv square. So we are going to substitute here kinetic energy is equal to half m, substitute this value here, q square v square r square divided by m square. Okay, so kinetic energy is equal to this m and m get cancelled. You will get q square v square r square divided by 2m. Okay, so now look at this formula here, time period. In the time period formula, we have only mass, charge and strength of the magnetic field. The time period is independent of radius and velocity. Do you have any velocity term here? No. Do you have any radius term here? No. So this is again very important conceptual question. Okay, the time period which is independent of radius and velocity, and also we proved that that is R and V are directly proportional if M, Q and V are constant. Okay, so the all these questions are very important, children. V is equal to QB by R, QB R by M, and R is equal to MV by QB. If M, Q, and V are constant, V and R are directly proportional. That is why T is independent of velocity and radius. As radius increases, that is as velocity increases, radius will also increase. Okay, and this is a formula to calculate the kinetic energy of the charged particle. Okay, or removing charges. Thank you, children.